Good afternoon, everybody. Ray Horvath Productions, and it is April 30th, 2020, the last day of April, and I am out here filming in the Doniana Range, and I am in a little area called that I call the Twins. And basically it is a lava formation with a couple of caves up there. I know some people go in there. I see rope, and you can go up and continue through or turn around. And this entire area has some trails in it that are pretty solid. I call the area Little Moab, but I call these the Twins. Again, you could define that any way you want. But the Talon, what was going on with that? I'll basically give you the rundown on that at the end of this video. Excuse me. But before I do that, I'm going to give you my first impressions of my new machine, and I'm going to swing around over here, and this is the 2020 Kawasaki KRX 1000. So get into the first impressions. A couple of things. It is the most plush ride and has the most comfortable suspension that I personally have ever rode in a side-by-side. And I've been in my buddy's Polaris, the Talon, of course, that I had before, the first TRX that I had, that was a really solid machine. And no matter how I tweaked the suspension on the Talon, it was much better than the original TRX. The TRX itself, the 800, that's built like a tank. But this suspension has got to be the most plush suspension, again, me personally, I have ever been in. You simply do not feel the trail as much as you do in other machines. Kawasaki did a real good job as far as whenever you're getting this into really tough, rocky terrain, and the suspension on this thing is just phenomenal. As you can see here, you know, you have the Fox setup. I know you guys have probably researched a bunch of this, but you also have an additional inch clearance that the Talon didn't have. So it's about 1 inch more clearance. What I really like about it is when you are going over rocky terrain, it just feels like the machine is not struggling at all. It sucks up the bumps, it sucks up the whoops, even if you're, you know, going 40 through the arroyo berms and jumping, it just seems to suck them up, and it does a really good job. But the clearance is very impressive. About the KRX in particular is they have really beefy and angled A-arms. So it adds to the clearance, whereas my previous machine on the Talon, it had good clearance, but the A-arms were pretty straight. So you had to kind of be careful on where you were putting your tire when you were climbing over stuff, so you didn't, you know, not to hit that A-arm. But what I miss about the Talon, or not really miss, but I really enjoyed when I had it, was the DCT transmission. The DCT, man, you got on that thing and you could feel the direct power instantly. Now on the KRX, you know, you get on it, it's by no means lacking power, because this thing is rated at 112 horsepower. But like all CVTs, it takes a little bit of time for it to wind up and then kind of kick in to give you that power. Now, on as far as the lock is concerned, I've only had it in lock one time, and when you do lock it, I do feel a little bit different in the steering. You can feel that it's definitely a diff lock, where I did not feel that on the i4-wheel drive. That was one thing about the Talon that I did like. When you were in four-wheel drive, you really didn't feel any different feedback on the steering wheel. Now, when this is in normal four-wheel drive, you don't feel it at all, because from what I've researched, Kawasaki has two different map systems for the steering control, the electronic steering and power steering. And what it does is, when you're in two-wheel drive, it has a different computer map for that, and then when you're in four-wheel drive, it has a different map as well. One of the other things I like about this is you have full half doors. Now on the Talon, you would have to order the bottom pieces. And these doors are really solid. One of the pet peeves I had on my previous machine was even after you close it, there was some play, and there is none in this. You can tell that it was really solid. And you have this handle here, and then you also have a handle on the inside, which is really cool. It, you know, instead of reaching outside to open your door, you have a handle in here as well. Also, one other thing, even though this is a 2-seat machine, now I'm a big guy, I have this seat all the way back, but even in back position, I still have a ton of room back here to throw a soft cooler. I have a mini cooler over on the other side, but the seat's further forward. I don't know if you can see that, but you still have a ton of room. I can throw my AR case back here with my gun, no problem at all. You have that extra room. So I really like that. I like the seats very much. Now the pedals are pretty much the same. They're tight, just like the TRX was, my 800, so they're kind of positioned the same. I like the fact that the battery's right here. It's easy to get to, and it's actually quite a large battery compared to other side-by-sides. It looks almost like a car battery. And back to the CVT. Kawasaki, the KRX here is one of the only, or the only, correct me if I'm wrong, from what I read, the only Japanese sports side-by-side company that is using a CVT and a centrifugal clutch system. So this is going to be the experiment. And I've also mentioned before that one of the reasons I went to the Talon was to get away from the belts. And I have buddies with Polarises. I'm not knocking them. They're great machines, especially those turbos, man. They get up on it, but they always have a problem tearing belts, especially out here in the desert Southwest. We get into the triple digits, the belt heats up, and once you get on it and you're romping on it, man, you can tear a belt really quick. But on the digitized readout here, and I'll just turn it on real quick, I really love this. You have a CVT temperature gauge with 6 bars on it that basically let you know what your CVT temperature is. And that's huge to me, because once you're getting up in that area, you can kind of adjust your riding as far as not to be able to snap a belt or something. If you get too hot, it'll actually flash for you. But this readout is very bright. It's adjustable, and it gives you your volts, your trip, your mileage, whether you're in low, whether you're in high, and it actually gives you the engine temperature as well. I really like that. And it also tells you if you're in 4 or 2-wheel drive and or lock. So I'm going to shut this off. One of the other things that I tried out just very briefly, probably for about 4 miles or so, is the low power mode. Now, from what Kawasaki says, what this does is when you engage this and you're in your low gear, I think you can do it in high gear as well, but I haven't done that. I've used it in low gear and low power mode. It reduces your throttle to about 57% of its totality. So that being said, I noticed when you're crawling over a bunch of stuff that is, you know, hard, and there's rocky areas, and you're wanting to just walk over it and crawl over it without any jerk or feedback from the throttle, it's phenomenal. Because even if I gun the throttle a little bit while I'm in low power mode, it prevents it from getting to the tires, and it prevents that jerking and bumping. So I haven't had a chance to test that out a whole lot, but the little bit that I did, I was extremely impressed. So far, it's a good machine. Again, what do I likes and dislikes? I wish it would have come with a roof. It makes no sense to me why you have to purchase a roof these days when you're building a side-by-side of this caliber and this money. It should come with a roof. It looks naked also, without a rear bumper and without the rear enclosure here and the front bumper. I mean, it's, man, I wish it would just come with that. I like the fact that it comes with the full half doors. I like the fact that the lighting on this thing, that's another thing. The lighting on this thing is amazing. You have daytime running LEDs similar to an automobile that are on all the time, even if your light switch is off. And then you have low and high. Now, I don't have my light bar on here or anything, which I am going to transfer over, as I always do. But I'll tell you one thing. These lights, I've had one opportunity to have them out at night. I was really happy and surprised, actually, how much light they put out for stock. That was just amazing. That shocked me. It shocked my buddy. He had never been in one either, and we were just like, wow, that's pretty bright for stock. I love the fact that they come with 31-inch Maxxis carnivores. So far, this tire has been amazing, really grippy, really solid, and I love the fact that they come with true bead locks. But anyway, those are pretty much my first impressions of the 2020 KRX 1000. The Talon didn't work out, and now what everybody's been waiting for. So the engine was completely toast on the Talon, and that's pretty much what was going on. For those of you that haven't seen it, I'll throw the video again up somewhere up here, not sure where, but you can link to that and see what I went through as far as the Talon. But to give you guys just the summation of it, dirt got into both throttle bodies, got into the cylinders, and toasted the engine, okay? And Honda did honor the warranty. However, whatever the scenario was, or why they couldn't make the engine accessible to the parts, I was not going to get my machine back until the latter part of August. That's what I was looking at. Long story short, I did not like the way Honda was handling my warranty and my engine replacement. I'm sure they could have found a new engine to throw into my machine, but August to me was unacceptable, especially since it was found by Honda and by my dealership to be an error during assembly. That was the official statement I was given, if you will. It was put together at assembly with that flaw. Who's to blame and who's at fault and how it happened, I'm over that. I wanted it rectified, and August, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm going to start doing reviews on this, and I appreciate everybody subscribing. I appreciate your comments, your thoughts. A lot of support out there from my viewers, and I will give you an update on this, and you'll see it grow and get its accessories. Can't wait to get the roof, because spring out here and it's already baking my brains. But give me a like, subscribe, share this video. I will answer your comments to the best of my ability. Again, apologies for not doing one quicker, but craziness going on right now, and I had a little bit of time today after work, and I figured, what the hell, I'll come out and shoot a video for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, as some of you have done, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe, take care, and keep everybody healthy. Have a great day.